Hi and welcome to this brief overview of the plumbing pre-builds that have been formulated to integrate with simPRO and ground plan to assist with making your takeoffs and estimating process easier. Linton May is my name and I am the founder and owner of ePlumbing Estimators. We are a plumbing estimating outsourcing business catering for plumbing contractors in Australia and New Zealand. ePlumbing Estimators have an established partnership with simPRO clients and have been providing pre-builds for plumbers for a number of years now. Late last year we updated our pre-builds to match Reece Plumbing Supplies as the main supplier where possible. The rates were also updated to reflect updated labour fit times and methodologies. As you can see from the screen here, the pre-builds are set up in various stages similar to the way a tender is broken up. This makes it easy to find rates when preparing an estimate and bringing items across into ground plan that are not already in your ground plan templates. To give you an example of how the rates are set up, I will take a look at the drainage rates. The drainage rates consist of rates used for in-ground, above ground, and cover stages like stormwater drainage, sewer drainage, trade waste drainage. The rates cover most common material types: DWV pipe and fittings, HDPE pipe and fittings, RCP and FRC pipe for stormwater drainage, etc. When we open up the DWV in ground rates, you will see the different size pipe at different depth increments, plus the standard range of fittings, junctions, bends, etc. When we look at the build, you will see the material content being the pipe, solvent and cleaners. The excavation and backfilling component is included, as well as the bedding material. The example here we're using is 100 DWV at an average of 1 metre deep. You will see on the right hand side here under the cost column the actual cost of the pipe, the solvent, priming fluid, excavation and backfilling, and the bedding drainage material. On the left side here you will see the actual quantities that relate to each of the items that have been used. Also you will see here the Reece coding, which has been brought in from the Reece supplier code. Also note that the coding has been altered to match the way your Reece invoices come into simPRO, and also the way purchase orders are created and brought into simPRO. Back in the summary page you can see the cost breakup as well as the fit time. The fit time can be adjusted to suit your productivity. Here is the fit time here. 0.24 hours. The labour cost is picked up with your internal default labour cost settings. Material markups are also determined by what you have set in simPRO. You will need to determine your markups to obtain your sell price. As you can see, there is a fair range of rates for the drainage. The other pipe materials are set up exactly the same way. In the cold water section, the cold water pipework is set up in a similar structure to the drainage. You will be able to see the various pipe materials that have been used. If we look at the B-press copper, you will see the different pipe sizes for in-ground and above ground fittings. If we look at the build for the 50mm Class B pipe fixed horizontally or vertically, you will notice the Reese codes have also been reflected. And again, as I've previously mentioned, this is to work with your invoicing and your purchase orders in Reese. You'll see here exactly the same structure as we had in the drainage, where you've got your materials, you've got your pipe, your clipping, your anchors, fixings, etc. And over here you have your quantities of your pipe and fittings. And if we go back into the summary afterwards, you'll see the fit time. Again, here is the summary page for the 50mm copper. You can see the material and labour breakup. You can see the fit time here, which is 0.4 of an hour per metre. And over here on the right, you can see your labour and material cost breakup. You'll see your margins added, and you'll see a total price there, excluding GST per metre for the pipe. I'm now going to give you another quick overview of the various sections that we have. It'll just be a quick flick through, starting with your project preliminaries. Your project prelims have some preset items which allow you to add costs to your prelims once you've completed your takeoff. These are costs to run your job. Under the demolition section, we've incorporated some simple demolition rates which you've got there to use as takeoff items. Most of those rates will probably require adjustment based on the type of project, but they allow you to give an item to measure against in ground plan. This is the cold water section, has the various types of materials, MDPE, blue brute, cast iron fittings, pressure pipe, rehow, cold water valves, etc. The hot water service again has your B-press copper, welded copper, and some rates for some hot water heaters and various valving. Under the hot and cold roughings, we've just got two sections, one for copper roughings and one for rehow, which is your PEX. We have only used one type of PEX to keep it simple. However, if you use a different PEX product than rehow, you're quite welcome to go in and change the products. With the fire service, we've just got some MDPE pipe and fittings for in-ground works, a section there for pumps, for measuring pumps, and then your roll groove pipe and fittings. Same applies for the gas. We've got B-press copper, a section for gas valves and meter installs, some gas roughings for apartments and a bit of commercial work, and some MDPE pipe for mainly in-ground works. For the fixtures install, some call it second fix, we call it fit up, whatever you want to call it. There's a whole range of rates here for various types of fixtures and fittings and various options. Okay, as you can see, we identify whether it's a mixer, a basin set, whether it has a chrome trap or a PVC trap. Makes it easy to pick, especially here in the sinks. You've got different options available to you. Makes it easy to pick when you're doing your takeoff. There's some standard rating for acoustic lagging. Also note that a lot of our rates for DWV pipe have already got acoustic lagging built into the rate where required, so you don't actually have to measure twice. We have a set of generic rates for connecting to existing services for the different size pipe work, whether it be a straight connection or a T connection. These rates will need to be adjusted in your estimate, but they again allow you a line item to measure against in ground plan. We also have a section of miscellaneous rates which can be used in different areas. For example, saw cutting and breaking out concrete, some saw cutting rates, a bit of reinstatement if you have to allow for that, under road boring, etc, etc. Most of those rates will need to be adjusted on a job by job basis. The last ones being core holes, which are mainly used for refurb work where you're got to drill through existing slabs to rerun pipework or reroute pipework. Thanks for viewing this overview. Should you have any further queries or have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. More than happy to answer any questions for you. Thanks a lot.